Where is everyone today?
Hello, everyone. This is Scratch and Jack, your host for the Amazing Plastic Across the Pond Hangout of the Google Plus community of Amazing Plastic with scale modelers of all shapes and sizes, interests, genre levels, blah, 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 who like to share in one another's scale modeling achievements. Today, we have to start with the H's, but we're going to start on the other direction. We're going to start lower on the scale, and it's only L. We don't have anybody below L. So let's say hi to Liam. Hi, Liam.
Good morning, Jack, or good afternoon, or well, good afternoon in my end, good morning to your end, and good night to Heath at his end. How are we all doing?
Fine. How are you doing in the Emerald Isle?
Well, I've managed to survive without a hoodie on today, so it's a bit warmer. So I wouldn't describe it as summer, but at least it's a bit warmer than it has been. Finished off my World War II, 1930 RAF bomber, almost finished it off, getting there just to do a mat coat and a couple of things on it. But I've been thinking about your Mad Max challenge, and I have ordered something, and I've also been buying up. I'll show you what I've been buying. I've been buying kids' toys for parts. So wheels and guns and different things will come off this for what I'm going to do for the Mad Max thing. So, I've gone for the Beetle. Is the one I'm going to do.
Oh, nice.
The Volkswagen. Nice. I think I could get a picture. Hold on, I'll show you what I mean. It looks the part. I'll have to try and source some bits and pieces I don't have, but we'll just get this picture up. I'll show you what. And I'm not going for an exact facsimile either, but
no. That's the whole thing about the challenge. There's so much there. How can you imitate any single vehicle in the movie? I mean, come on.
So I'll just share this picture.
I'd like to have had a rig. I would like to get a rig and do something because that was the main character and the main vehicle in the movie. Oh yes.
So that's my plan. The engine probably will be the hardest for me to source, I think, but well, we'll see.
What's interesting is that the Bug has the engine in the back, or at least that model. It looks like the early '70s model. The engine was in the back, and this one is in the front. Interesting.
Yeah, true. And the kit is a Revell 1/24 scale I've ordered. I got it for a very reasonable price. So
nice. It's nice. I don't have any picture of mine, so yeah. I mean, that's a goal. That's a goal, certainly.
And it should be a quick build. I think it'll be a quick build. So.
Well, I do have screen share your World War I bomber, is it?
Well, 1930. It was the last biplane bomber that the RAF used. A very odd aircraft.
Yeah.
For lots of reasons, the way that poor chap at the front must have been frozen stiff every time they flew anywhere. And obviously you can see the pilots. It's an open cockpit as well, and then it had a ginormous bomb rack. You can see how many bombs there are, and all those little slots were all bombs as well. So it was a heavy duty bomber, but it was just a very odd aircraft. And the pilot was 18 foot off the ground. So it was a bit like landing a jumbo jet. He couldn't see when he was down.
Wow.
So just something different. I wouldn't have picked it to build if someone gave me the kit for nothing and it was part built. So I had to strip her down from the disaster glue fest that it had been attacked with. But it turned out okay. I still have to do a matte coat and a couple of things on it, but just something different.
It's very different, and it's very awesome too.
The rigging is done with Easy Line, which once you get into a rhythm with it, it's not too bad. It's just getting it attached at one end, and then you can basically use super glue. And for anyone in the UK that might be watching, Dean Eyre told me about this in our equivalent of the dollar store, which is the pound shop, which is you get the gel CA and the what do you call the other stuff? The fast set, the spray. Right.
Yeah.
The two of them for £1. Now, the last time I bought this stuff, it cost me £6 just for the bottle. So the two together, and it's a JLCA as well, which is fantastic because it doesn't set. It takes about 10 minutes before it sets. So you basically put the part in place and then a quick of this stuff and set. So that's how I did all the rigging on that aircraft. Made it a pleasure to do.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And I got this right, that X-Wing in the background. Your place looks like my place. It's a disaster behind you, just like it is behind me. You just don't see what's on the floor for me.
It's lived in.
It's lived.
Oh, it's lived in. Yes. Yeah, the cord on my camera is long enough to show you, but it's a landmine of boxes on the floor here. You can't see. But anyway, it looks like I do.
So it's just basically, you can see lots of mess in the background, and I'm quite happy to show off a mess. There's a keyboard, and Star Trek encyclopedias, and boxes upon boxes, and kits piled to the ceiling, and all the rest of it. So yes, it's loved in. Loved in's the word.
You know, there was, I won't mention names, but there was well, I think he still is. It's one of our members. This place is so incredibly clean. It's like a showroom for modelers. It's not even, I even asked him, is that a working model shop? He's like, yeah, I build models. And I'm like, it doesn't look like it.
I know a few of those, Jack. I know a few of those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a slob. That's all it is. So, yeah, I'm going to do some cleaning up today for sure. How you doing, Heath, before you fall asleep?
I'm not asleep. Thank you. I'm not falling asleep. I'm just sitting here waiting till I sleep.
Well, what do you have going on?
Just sitting here nicely waiting my turn. I just put a little kit together today.
Yeah. You need wheels.
This is me 1999. Well, there's the wheel. That's the only thing. The only thing I got left to do is get a metal axle that goes through the little hole there, which joins onto this tyre. As you can see, there's a nice little hole there, and all I've got to do now is just wait for the front force to dry and put it. I did that, and then tomorrow, start painting my Lotus. I've already primed it, and going to be painting it. So, yeah, been a busy boy.
Been busy, huh?
Yeah.
So, how's the weather down under?
Bloody freezing.
Bloody freezing. It's probably like 20 degrees Celsius or something.
Well, hang on. I'll tell you exactly what the temperature is on my lovely little phone here. It's 15 degrees at the moment. And
15 degrees Celsius. Wow, that's like what? 50 degrees, maybe 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not that bad.
Yeah.
My winter's going to be that way, and I'm sure James would agree.
Yeah.
It is when you're sitting in front of an open window.
Well,
trying to get rid of the glue smell out of your house.
That may be sweater weather.
I have a balmy 13 degrees heat.
Yeah.
You're only 2 degrees down from what I am.
That's warm for us.
Yeah.
That's bloody cold for us.
It went up to 20 degrees on Thursday. We didn't know. There's this annoying big bright thing in the sky. No one knew what it was.
Yeah.
I think it's called the sun.
Yes. Right now I know.
But no, I'm good. I'm very good. Thank you. And next. Uh-oh. Oh dear.
What?
Jack has frozen.
Oh dear.
Jack has frozen.
Should we just continue anyway? We could say James last, if that's not too inappropriate this week.
Well, yeah. had this issue before. Oh, he's coming back.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. I'm about to shut my window. Lovely. That's better.
That's okay. How is the ship progressing, James? I've seen
Well,
some pictures.
Well, it's coming along. I got the 5.9-inch guns are all done and installed. And I'm working on the 14.9 guns now.
The big ones.
I'm coming through. Yeah,
That's the biggest size one. Yeah.
Yeah. That, and I'm building the working on the.
Yeah. And that starts off as a flat piece of paper, and somehow you manage to roll it.
Yep. How do I roll it?
Yeah.
Well, I'd be interested to know how you actually, because my assumption would be you roll it round something.
Yeah, use a former.
Yeah.
I have all different pieces of wire and different things of all different gauges that I use for rolling formers.
Brass tubing or aluminum or something, or.
Yeah, well, it's whatever. You use toothpicks, whatever, pins, whatever is convenient for the diameter.
And then to achieve a seal along the join, I mean, how do you do that?
Well, you glue along the edge. So what you do is you roll the paper first on, well, use this like a soft pad, like a mouse pad, and then using a former of some shape, then you roll the former on the paper, and that starts to get a curving. Yeah. Then once you get the curve up to the right point, then you can roll it on the form. And then once you got that done, then you just run glue along the seam and then work the joint till it starts to adhere.
Do you not end up with an excess on the outside of the joint glue, or do you just have to be very, very...
You just got to be very careful. You got to make sure your fingers are clean all the time.
Yeah. There's no equivalent. I know with the Tamiya Extra Thin, I mean, you can get away with murder with that, with plastic. It's such a fine glue that basically as soon as you put it on, it's evaporating after 10-15 seconds.
Yeah, no.
You don't end up with the dreaded plastic modeler fingerprints all over the model.
Yeah. CA is an issue because CA will stain the paper. Unless you're doing the whole thing in CA, because it'll change the color a bit.
Yeah.
But I use a gelled glue.
Right.
So it stays where I put it, so it doesn't it's not running everywhere or stuff like that.
You don't get an issue with the glue. I know with being a photographer, sometimes we've mounted prints on card.
Yeah.
And over time, the glue has deteriorated. You don't get issues with that, like a part coming apart after a couple of years, or.
Don't seem to have an issue.
Well, good. Yeah.
I've got models that are over 10 years old and they're still holding together.
And you don't seal them in any way. With our models, we would do a final matte coat or something.
No.
There's no equivalent.
No.
Right.
You can. It depends. Some people do. Yeah. Some people seal the printed paper before they assemble it. So they'll spray some sort of fixer on the surface of the paper, but do it before they assemble, not after.
Do you get a situation where you're building some models you want a reflective or a shiny surface, a gloss surface, and then sometimes you want a matte surface? Is that just
if you're shiny surface, then you could use shiny or matte paper.
Right. Okay.
In which case, if you need the thickness, then you can laminate that with something else to get the thickness of the card that you require. And
are you printing on a bubble jet or a laser printer?
I'm using a bubble jet.
Right.
Laser printers are an issue for this because where an inkjet, the color goes into the paper, a laser printer, the color is on top of the paper. And when you fold it, it cracks.
Ah, right. Okay. Didn't know that. Interesting.
So it's not. They're getting better. They're getting better with the compounds, but they're still bad for cracking.
Yeah, I'm aware of that again because of work. We sometimes print on a large format. We have a 42-inch printer, which is crazy size. It's fantastic for doing big stuff. but depending on what type of paper you use, it's just different results. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jack's back, so just I kept things going there. Jack,
It's okay. My computer and Google don't need me, apparently. So
Yeah.
I think it's my computer. It did that to me already. It just decides, oh, I'm going to quit this. I'm going to just shut down and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think you're right, James. I think the buffers are in the what am I calling the router.
Yeah.
So I did not shut down. I haven't shut that down in a while, so I think it would be time to do so.
At least,
Yeah, you need to every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
But it seems to do it only on the across the pond Hangout. Maybe it's this long distance calling that I'm doing. I don't know.
Oh, I still think Google's got issues, but that's beside.
Yeah.
Well, they do offer this for free, though. You got to say they do offer this for free. So thank you for doing that. But I mean, we're getting what we're paying for too. So that's.
Yes, that's very true too.
Well, anyway, I have been able to work on a mess right here on my workbench. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working on a mess. So that's what I'm doing in scale modeling today, working on a mess. I should take a picture of it and post it because I think this is quite an achievement. I think you all agree. It's well, no, I'm still really. What's happening is that I'm waiting on China. The entire country. Because I ordered some. LED tape, but blue LED tape that is double density. This is white, which I've painted blue. Don't work as well.
Yeah.
To light up this thing, I've always needed double
density.
I've done this many times. I've done this many times. This is the difference. If you all want to know, the bottom is single density. That's like the 3 LEDs are about 1.5 inches, but the double is like 3 LEDs in 1 inch. So it's just worth more to use double density when you're lighting up things. So that's what I'm waiting on to get my radar done.
Yeah.
But I did get another project moving forward again because I was missing parts as usual. I had 4 fine molds models that I was building at the same time. Never do that again. Do one at a time so you don't lose any pieces. This is the X-Wing. I was missing parts for the engine, but I do have everything else pretty much done for my trench diorama. I still got to get the other half to paint the painting, but that's another story. Because I don't even know how to mount the models in front of it just yet either. So that's what I'm trying to do is do that. And we also have, as Liam brought up, in the community, we're trying to just bash whatever far gone kits that we might have into what Mad Mex would be proud of. Mad Mex. Why do I say Mad Mex? There's a restaurant in this town called Mad Mex. They advertise in the 80s and 90s, have safe Mex.
Oh, we've got Double Entendres again on the show.
You can expect what crowd they were trying to attract. So anyway, Mad Max. And I did see the movie last week, and I thought it was incredibly visually stunning. But don't go there for any kind of Academy Award in acting or storytelling, because it had no story and it had no acting. So,
Wouldn't acting.
The vehicles were just amazing. If anything, go see it for that, and go see it in a matinee because you don't want to spend money on that. It was great. It was awesome as far as that's concerned. So, hey, in a community, let's try to just throw together whatever we can on a car, military vehicle, rig. You know what? I didn't see any kind of flying machines in the movie, too. I would like to see a Mad Max interpretation of a flying machine. Wouldn't that be cool?
Mm-hmm.
There used to be a couple in the original series.
Yeah, I do recall that, too. I think a couple Cessnas were used in the original.
There was an ultralight, too. There was the one character had the ultralight all the time.
Right, the ultralight. That would be actually a cool thing to do.
Do you know how many people are taking part?
Oh no, I don't know. I just think it'll be kind of cool. And what deadline did I say? End of July?
July, yeah.
End of July to get it
Yeah.
done. If you wanted to join us to do the Mad Max challenge, build, whatever. I don't think it's much of a challenge to get a glop of glue and throw parts at it. I think it would be. And I think this would be kind of warming up to possibly doing steampunk of something, but maybe next time when we have extra parts to do steampunks. But I have built an F-15 jet and a MiG or something like that, and I had little missiles left over, so I'm all ready to go. See a little missile right there?
Ah.
And since I got the new X-Wing, I'm going to have extra laser guns, so put a few on that. Mine's going to be a Mustang Boss. I just got to figure out how to hike it up like bad underwear. So
I think
that's
over the top, I think, is the way to go, because that's the way the movie is. So just go crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, go crazy, but kind of have a purpose to it.
Practical application. Yeah. Yeah.
Practical application purpose to it, but you can do anything on these. You sci-fi modelers. You can even do. I don't know. Lately, the community has been very, I don't want to say anti-sci-fi, but it seems like everybody else has been posting airplanes like yourself, Liam, and some military stuff going on too. So why don't I go over to the community, see what I can dig up as far as something of interest. Bob Bruce and his 62 Corvette Roadster. This is probably one of the best models I've seen in a month, actually, because you guys are so good. It's always.
Oh, it's Agents of Steel car.
The what?
Car. It's Coulson's car, I think, isn't it?
I'll see. I'm not sure.
Yep.
You guys know better about cars than I do. There it is.
Yeah, that's Coulson's car.
Very nice.
From Agents of Steel.
From Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Steel, yeah.
Steel.
Shield.
S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah.
Well, there is a show on TV. Wow, look at that. I like the finish. It's just so clean. It's so clean and shiny. I like his background. That would be something I would. And he's a lot neater than I am. You know something though? I always look at backgrounds because I'm interested in settings too. This tester's tube, they give you these little applicator tips. Does anybody use those? This is the first time I've seen anybody use them.
Oh, I used to test tools all the time.
Yeah, but do you use the little applicators that come with them now?
Yeah, I did.
I've always find the applicators, the only thing they're really good for is plugging up.
Yeah.
Plugging up? Oh, yeah, they always plug up, don't they?
Yeah. It's the same that this stuff, perfect plastic putty, comes with an applicator, and if you use it, it's fine the first time. If you leave it for 3 or 4 days, then the whole nozzle just dries out, and you've wasted about a quarter of the packet because of the part of the nozzle that's on the bottom. I've thrown it away, but the part of the thing that's on here with the nozzle, this is all dried out. The pieces, so it's just useless. But
well, I think it's time to see what our friend Don Gilchrist has been up to, our rocket man.
He posts about 100 things a day.
Yeah, he kind of does, about 100 things a day, but if I were to talk to him, I'd say kind of like, edit a little more. Yeah. But what I'm finding interesting in his posts is that he's gone away from rockets, and now he's in military vehicles, as we all see here.
Yeah.
So,
I got a bit early.
As the background's nice and focused, I like that. I am about backgrounds.
He's got a tow missile launcher for that, yeah.
Very cool.
It's remarkably like the Jeep I showed you at the beginning that I'm going to tick. Do you see my screen again? It's very like the same vehicle. Strange. Coincidence? Oh well.
Well, that's what sometimes I kind of like, I don't know, kind of get miffed, I think would be a good word for it, that, hey, I got this great idea to build a model. Of course, as slow as I am, somebody gets to it before I do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you think you had original idea, and then you find out, nope, somebody else thought of it before. Yeah.
Not.
but I finally found your post for the
For the
Bismarck.
5.9s, yeah.
There's the Bismarck right here. You put
Yep.
your guns on, looks right here.
Yeah.
Very cool. So are you done with this?
No, I'm working on the 14.9s now. The
Oh,
main guns.
oh, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The
Okay,
big boys.
and I like Skill Modeler who knows photography too. That's a really clear picture. You can zoom in really nice on that. That is really cool. You got the lifeboats, right?
Yeah.
It just seems so crowded. It's like, okay, you got these lifeboats on there. That's fine and good, but wouldn't you be concerned about it going down? And then you got these guns right there that you got to lift them up and over it.
Yeah, and there's there's only 2 davits on the ship, and that's for those 2 smaller longboats at the back. The rest of these have to be lifted off the boat with the crane.
Oh, okay. These are the cranes right here.
Well, no, the cranes aren't there yet.
Oh, okay.
No, those are antenna rods. Where those 2 blank circles are beside the
Here?
Yeah, that's where the cranes go.
Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. So, okay, they got these airplane launchers. They got at least 2 airplanes they can launch.
Yeah.
How do they land?
They land on the water.
Okay.
Taxi up beside the airplane, beside the ship, and the crane comes down, picks them up, and loads them back on the ship.
Oh. Oh, okay. I was trying to find some flaw in German engineering. I don't think I'm going to do that because I'm stupid.
It was a common method. We all used it. We all used
really?
the same method.
Oh, really?
Jack,
You
have you never seen?
Gunships also, battleships also had these things. American battleships.
Yeah.
Really?
Used the same method.
Huh.
Jack, have you never seen the Japanese submarines that had airplanes in them?
Yeah.
Same idea, that the submarine had 2 aircraft in it.
Here's your guns, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
Wow.
That's for the 14.9s.
I hear some kind of instruction here.
Yeah, the assembly instruction.
Wow, you got to take these and curl them up into barrels, huh?
Yep, they all got to be rolled.
Wow.
Rolled and assembled. All 3 parts make up the barrel. So you've got the main barrel and the 2 pressure jackets.
Do they give you the dimension that it should be, or you just work it out from the amount
You
of
work
paper
it out
you have?
from the. It's easy enough to work out from the piece.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for those great pictures. Keep them coming.
No problem.
Maybe you should do a video on how to take a picture of a model.
Biggest secret there is having the right cameras.
Oh,
You gotta have a camera that's full macro capable. If you don't have a macro camera, you're wasting your time.
Mhm.
I see so many pictures.
I take pictures with my iPhone, and it seems to be doing just fine. I mean,
Yeah.
iPhone cameras are actually pretty good.
Well, I think I've told the story before. My selection of cameras is I got frustrated. I went through about 4 cameras, and for taking pictures of models, I was always frustrated with them for their macro capability, and their pictures were always coming out blurry and all that, and I got fed up with it. So I went to my favorite photography store. This is what I want to do, and we actually set up a studio in there, and I started practicing with cameras to and brought a model to shoot in the studio, and shot a whole bunch with a bunch of different cameras to find out which ones worked best for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we have Craig Craig Kerr.
Yeah.
He's a sci-fi guy, but he does a lot of military.
He is.
And
He is in the military as well, Jack.
Oh, he's very much into military. Yeah.
No, but no, he is in the military.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Which military?
Well, British Army.
Never mind. Never mind. I knew that. His MK1 needs a little dirt, but it's looking really good. Really liking this.
Challenger was a nice tank.
Yeah, it is. I would imagine it is a British one, is it not?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. A little cable there for something.
Tow cable.
Lots of photo etch too.
Wow. A lot of photo etch too. Yeah, that's right there. These vents or something like that. They're probably even windows. Nice. Wow. Oh, it even turns like that. The turret turns.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting with tanks. People seem to build the whole tank before they do any painting. Where I would have always thought you'd have had to sort of do the basics and then assemble, but a lot of people just seem to just build it first, then paint the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. I at least prime all of my parts, and then assemble it. I don't paint, do a final coat of, do a coat of paint of what a color it's going to be yet.
I think they don't prime because if they're using a lot of photo etch and aftermarket parts, they want to make sure that they all glue down properly rather than gluing on top of paint.
I see.
So that's probably the biggest reason for it, and then worry about the paint after the fact.
Well, how do you apply photo etch? And Phil should be here because he does a lot of photo etch on his battleships.
Well, I do. Well, in my case, I paint the photo etch before I apply it.
Oh, really?
So it doesn't. That way, I'm not risking get any paint on the paper. So I'll paint the photo. I'll shape it. I'll cut it, shape it, and everything else, and then paint it. And wait till it's dry, then glue it in place.
Well, you're talking about paper models, not necessarily about plastic models, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. And what do you use to adhere them, though?
PVA glue.
PVA?
Or CA, depending upon the application. Usually PVA glue.
I see. I use CA, the very watery kind. But boy, you got to be really careful because the very watery CA, the super glue, when it catches, it catches, and if it's in a wrong position, it's done.
Yeah, I can't. I got to be careful with CA on the paper models because it will absorb into the paper, which is not a bad thing, but it'll stain. It'll leave a mark so you can tell where it is. So that's why you want something that stays put. I do have gelled CA, which is handy, which you can use. It doesn't seem to soak in as bad. But the straight liquid stuff, no, can't use it.
Right.
That's why I'm saying this stuff I've got recently. It's more of a, I don't know if you probably can't see it flowing there, but it's more of a. It's an in between a gel and a liquid. It's sort of you can put a spot out or put quite a bit out on a plate, or a piece of plastic, and it'll stay for half an hour, 45 minutes without setting. Then I just use an applicator, just dip the applicator on and put it in the part and do it that way. Yeah.
You can use a toothpick. You can use a toothpick to apply to the various parts on the photo etch, and of course, like you said, it doesn't set right away, and it really doesn't. And it does respond to kicker, which would solidify the CA, but it takes longer too, even with a kicker.
Yeah.
You haven't found you end up with a toothpick stuck to the part, which has happened to me.
Well, yeah, it does happen, but you got to be careful. I think the best way to do it is get a drop on it that the drop is hanging off of the toothpick, for an example.
Yeah.
You can get the little applicators, which are in fact, some people make them out of the number 11 blade. If it's cut in a certain way, you can make a little loop, and the glue will sit in the loop until you want to apply it. it's something I must actually sort out because it's something I needed this week for that aircraft and I didn't have it.
That's actually pretty cool. I did see somebody use a piece of wire and make a loop to apply glue.
Yeah.
The idea here is not to touch your applicator to the parts. That's the idea.
Yep.
That's the idea. So, yeah, I've applied it, but boy, the first time I applied, I'm like, holy crap, this really catches really easy. Got to be real careful when you're handling. With my shaky hands, I have to be extra, I guess. There's been a couple of times a part has been put on kind of crooked, and just got to be very careful in cutting out the part to put it back on. You have to actually cut it, and I think there is such a thing as a solvent, is there not?
There is some way of dissolving CA, but I know with the accident and emergency, the emergency room in the hospital where I work, they do have something. But people come in all the time with, their hand stuck or worse. So
that's pretty funny.
Have you ever had CA and got the applicator?
Yeah.
At the same time, the heat. Oh
yeah.
It's like a burn. It's awful.
Oh yeah, it does burn awful. I got it on my fingers, and I know that. I never knew that. And there was some, and that first time I experienced that, that was a surprise. But sometimes you can even see it smoking.
Yeah.
A little puff of smoke comes out of the CA, and then it cures. I wonder what causes that. That chemical reaction for CA is quite amazing. Right here we have Andrew Robinson. He posts a lot. He uses very small scale models, so he does work very quickly because they're small scale, but his paint jobs are pretty good too in the detail. He has a Vampire T11, I believe it is. I like to show because it's an unusual airplane just the same. I wish I could get something unusual like this to build. I never know where to find them.
Yep.
There it is.
Nice old airplane.
It looks like a training craft. Am I correct in saying that?
I think that's what the orange part indicates as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But usually there's a large, orange or yellow or something flash on a trainer. Keep well clear of this guy. He's only learning, guys.
Well, yeah, if you look at the paper towel, you can see make it relative to what scale he's working. It's a pretty small model. It does do a lot of tiny scales.
Yeah. Is it a 1/72nd or it actually looks smaller?
I think it's smaller.
1/44th, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't work on. I would be so frustrated.
I think the testers is 72 scale. Maybe it is a 72 scale.
Right.
So.
Which is what that bomber's a 72 scale, but it's large enough to work on, if you know what I mean. It's the little small 1/72nd scale. I have lots of them, but it's getting to the stage where the old eyesight's not up to the job, and as you say, Jack, the shake doesn't help. So depends what I was doing last night. Is there? You're talking about an unusual aircraft. I mean, there's lots of choice. Is there anything you?
I don't know. I don't know aircraft well enough. If I see something I find just by chance, I'll buy it. But the thing that I don't have very much in my collection are Airfix. The more updated Airfix kits, I understand, are actually very good to build now.
Yeah,
they change a lot.
Yeah, the latest Hurricane and Spitfire and ME-109, I think, are fantastic, but the problem is you have to be very careful because they sometimes bring out reboxed kits that are the old kits in a new box, and they're awful, some of them. I have a couple of boxes of things that the kids bought me that were compilation boxes, 100 Years of Flight, for example, and some of the kits are 1960 vintage, and they're just terrible. But the new Airfix kit, the Spitfire and the Hurricane, are amazing. A 1/48 scale, not the 1/72nd scale. Vast improvement on their previous stuff. But they should sort of declare on the box that it is a new release or an old release. It's very, very unfair to just rebox something and sell it as a new kit, and it's not. But
Oh, absolutely. It's unfair. It's ridiculously unfair. Well, they got to make money too, but buyer beware. Again, modelers are very good about which kits are good and what to buy. Re-releases are sometimes better, but maybe not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's
a new Revell have a new Focke-Wulf 190 1/32 scale, which is amazing, and it's only about £20. The equivalent to me or Hasegawa would be 80, 90, £100.
Yeah.
But the Revell kit's just as good. In many respects, but it's a nice scale. 1/32 scale is a nice size to work on.
Well, I think that what the average is a 24 or 25 scale for car, mostly 24 scale, 124 for cars. And to me, it's a small scale to work with when it comes to cars. I certainly like the 16 scale better, but I can't light a 16 scale either, let alone a 25 scale. Who is this? This is Mark Schuler.
Yeah. Very good job of that. I know the time Andy Golightly tried to do it, he got very frustrated with it, ended up on the shelf of doom because he couldn't get it to do what he wanted. Yeah, but Mark's done a fantastic job with that, especially the top lights.
What he did with the top lights and the light bars and that, he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, and I think they change colors, don't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that just a standard kit? 120? I think it's 124 scale.
Yeah.
124 scale, right?
Yeah. Very nice.
It's a very cool build.
It's got two there. There was another one beside the.
He has a video. He does have a
he
video.
built two. One's standard and the other one's all decked out.
Right.
He's got a couple of videos here, but he did take some progress pictures. Oh, look at that! He's got the instrument panels inside even.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Give up now. What's the point? You can't compete with that.
Well, there is such a thing as an SMD. It's an LED that's pretty tiny, and they do come pre-wired, and I'm guessing that's what he's using. Because he couldn't, there's no other way he can get this lighted that way. Holy crap.
Amazing.
Very cool, Mark. Wow, there it is. Very cool. So, yeah. There is another build here, too. Oh, shoot. I think it's lighted, too. Let me go find it. Going pretty far in the past. It was near where Mark had his post.
I don't know if I'll put lights in the Mad Max thing. I think that makes it maybe taking it too far, but we'll see.
Oh. It crossed my mind too, but that's all it did. That's all it did. It was I'd like to see Carwin post pictures. His videos are awesome, but I'd like him to post pictures so I can share them with the community. So if you're watching this, Carwin, post a couple of pictures.
I'm following his TARDIS control panel build. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is also very. I will find it. I think he's posted some pictures on it. But first, I'm going to make a stop over at Matt G's.
Oh, Matt's the restaurant there. Yeah.
This is the restaurant and the Blade. No.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Yeah, Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And I've been watching progress pictures of these too. When he got to the windows, I'm like, okay, smarty pants, what are you going to do with those? And sure enough, put my foot in my mouth. He's actually succeeded in putting window panels in his scratch build for the restaurant.
It's like something. It's like a scale model for a movie. It's almost like a set piece for a movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Certainly is.
It's going to be quite large as well when it's finished.
Right. It's definitely going to be a lot bigger. I don't know if he's done with that or not. Matt, why don't you, tell us your final pictures if you're, done with that.
No, he's not done with it yet.
A lot to do.
He was building an overpass there the other day, which he had built, which is being added. So.
Well,
That's
just
a long term.
the Mad Max build, our friend Don Gilchrist did post something as far as the movie goes, but it's a Lego set. At least it's inspirational. It can be just about anything, as you see here. So really, it could be anything. It could be anything. And there was a lot of those spiky things coming out of a lot of those vehicles. And we have no shortage of sprues. Just as a hint, we have no shortage of sprues. You can use sprues to make these spiky things. Of course, you'll be filing and sanding till the day is long, actually. But that is going to be a cool. I think it's going to be fun, myself. We just get more people to do it. So all of you watching, that's just, if you're modeling, just throw something together. It's going to be easy to do.
I was hoping Lou would have been here today to tell us all about Wonderfest, but he's not about, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd be around too. I don't think I did send him an invite. I'll send him another, but Jamie's joining us right now. But before we're talking to him, I want to get Alex. Alex is so freaking amazing. Come on.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. This looks like a showroom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It looks like a showroom. Wait till you see the interior. He does pictures of the interior.
It looks like a die cast. It looks like something rather than a plastic kit. Yeah.
Oh, it's a plastic kit. Look at that interior.
That's really good, isn't it?
Much too clean.
Yeah. Yeah. In my dreams. But he's real. This guy is so incredibly good. And I'm glad he's sharing with us here at Amazing Plastic. How you doing there, Mr. Jamie?
Hello, Jack. I've been.
What's going on your workbench?
I can possibly show you, but it's not quite like together. It's getting there. It's sort of getting there. I've been working on that Reliance. I've got all the wires in and the poles in, but I've done some of the cover on top. I'm about ready now for sealing it up.
It's the 1/2500 scale one.
Yeah, it's sort of here you go.
Or the 1000 scale one. Sorry.
Yeah. Wow. You're lighting that too, aren't you?
Yes, it's all the wires are sort of here.
Wow.
Did you use the decal set for it, Jamie?
Yeah, if you look, you can see it. I've done the top of it.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, and everything's going to work on this. As you see, I've got the wires coming out of here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for your nacelles.
Yeah. All the nacelles are working. The photo torpedoes will work. The whole body lights up. All the flashes are going. It's just that because I'm decking, I've done this part like separate. Because you can't get to this piece. So we're going to have to paint all this, which I've done slightly different to what most people do. I've actually done the bits.
Looks great.
Inside, so... Yeah, so that's where I'm up to.
Cool.
Does it have transparent nacelles, or you have to buy an aftermarket part for it?
No, I can actually, if I go over and get the power supply, I can actually, it'll probably light still.
I think it's photo etch though, isn't it? Photo etch?
Say again?
Isn't the nacelle shell cooler or whatever cooler things that are on there turn blue? Isn't that a photo etch?
No. I've actually done that myself. The nacelles are all my work.
Oh. Okay.
So, you give me a second, I'll show you.
Sure. Take your time. I'm interested.
I've been trying to work on the actual design of trying to get rid of. Every time I look at people's nacelles, there's always the case of you can see the LEDs.
Yeah.
And it's like I've been trying to work on ideas of how the hell do you get rid of that so it looks like a nacelle and not
the hot spots.
they're all hot spots. So you can tell me what you think. Out of all these wires, boys, I've got to find the main power one. So give me a second.
Just take your time. I don't want to be accused of.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, blow
Even though
me.
we won't have nothing to do with it. He's the one touching it.
Okay.
Check the voltage.
Yeah. It's just reminding me of me.
The body will look bright because it's not together.
Yeah.
Okay, but like I said, I've been working on this stuff. Right, okay, here we go. It's going to look funny because it's in pieces. Okay.
Sounds like one of my builds.
I don't know why it's come on. Oh, bear with me.
Oh, I'm bearing. Speaking of bears, there have been a lot of coming in around closer to town. They're so far out, but they're getting close to town, the black bears.
Okay.
Where you live?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't take long to get into the countryside where I live.
Right. Okay.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
you've gone for pointing from the two ends. Is that the plan?
Right, I've also, if you look, there's the blue for the crystal.
Uh-huh.
There is the orange one.
For the
Orange,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but what I've done differently is I've actually took it from, if you look, you've got a red
Mm-hmm.
when Khan took over.
Yeah, isn't that weird? It was like white and everyone was all very Starfleetish, and when he takes over, everything turns sinister and red.
But if you look, Jack, it was only the front ones. If I look how I've done it, red,
Wow.
white.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, and
I think that as far as movie making goes, it was such a cheap ploy, but
if I just turn my light off a minute, you'll see this better because it's daytime light. So if I just turn
make
this
the crystal blue, not blue, but red, because of Khan. Khan likes red, not blue.
But here we go. See if I can do it like this. It's not closed up, so it's not. Bear with me a sec. Was.
It would almost be nice if you got that finished right now.
Oh yeah, it would be.
You know, that's not a very big model. If it's 1,000 scale.
And there's a hell of a lot of lights in it, Jack. A lot of cable. There's a hell of a lot of wires in it for such a small model.
Did you use what size LEDs did you use?
For the nacelles.
Okay, what size did you use?
I'll explain to you in a moment how I did that because the way I there we go. Here we go. You should have having to hold this all.
Awesome. That looks good.
There's a blue.
It's just for this isn't a commission, Jamie. It's just for yourself.
No, this one's actually a commission job.
Oh, very good.
But even if I've even got the lights on the body itself, and they're exactly as as they should be because I've drilled through the decals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's quite effective. It'll be quite good when it's finished.
Cool.
But now going back to the nacelles, what they are, right?
Oh, careful.
What they actually are. I was tampering around with the tape, and then that wasn't quite working for me. So I thought, well, if you look at these nacelles, they're not big. They're not very big at all. That you've hardly got any room to put wires in, because you've also got the wires to go in there for the two strobes at the back of the nacelles.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, I got two 5mm blue LEDs, and because they were pinpointed on the light, I sanded them down. extremely sanded them down to from about that big to about that big. But because I'd sanded the whole of the LED right down, it gave off this ambient glow on the one side. So I put one each side, and then wired them up and fed the wires through and up and down. And I mean, for the cabling on this, you really haven't got any room. There's no room in the arms or what's now to put any wires in. And there's like 6 wires coming out of each of those nacelles.
But you're using, aren't you using a magnetic wire or using 30 scale, 30 gauge, I should say?
Yeah, I'm using the 30 gauge
wire.
The magnetic wire.
Magnetic wire is smaller. It's like 36, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm using. The magnet wire. So yeah, I mean, the reason it's in bits like this at the moment is because basically, like I said, I'm doing the deckling on it. So, but the after part deckling that comes with this kit, it's really, really good. I mean, I was quite surprised. You don't see the full effect through my camera, but if I hold it close enough, you can actually see. You can't even see the joins. It really is.
That is so cool.
Did you manage to get a hold of it in the UK, or did you have to order it from the States?
No, I got it off eBay actually.
Right. I have been looking to see, but...
Yeah, the kit does come with the decals, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This all you get with this is a small sheet with the registry on, and a couple that go on here and here. But all this actual masking here is just decals. It gives it the. I mean, that's the without it.
No.
I mean, it's the art of doing these. I think is to get these right is getting your surface right. You know, you've really got a highly finished, smooth surface to put these on. Because if you don't, I mean, if you
do a pearl white then?
Say again.
Did you do a pearl white?
Yes, it's got a pearlescent white on it. Yeah. But I've had to sand it quite a few times, and then give it another coat, and sand it, and give it another coat, and then sand it, and fine sand it. And I found that if you do that, it looks painted. You get that painted effect, and you don't get the actual decal effect. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks like it's been sprayed on with a gun, with a mask, which I think is quite good. But here, on the actual picture, all this bit here is just dark.
That's cool.
And I thought, well, it looks a bit boring, so I thought, you know, do the little bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you did is really cool. I mean, it should.
There's a button piece. Okay. And if you notice, I haven't done it all gold. I've changed that slightly at the front, so it gives a bit of transparency of the difference between the two.
Boy, glad your video is in 3D. You'll be poking me in the eye there.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with that. So yeah, I'm about 3 parts finished on this job.
Cool.
And the actual, I mean, if you just look inside here, you can see how much work's going into this. I don't think you can see this.
Number of wires, yeah.
There's a lot of wires.
You'll find the refit easy when you go back to that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know the refit's harder to do because there's a lot more work, and you know, you're not using decals on the refit. I'm gonna have to mask it, but by God, it's easier putting the wires in because you've got so much room. You know, I mean, the nacelles on that are like that big. You know, there's plenty of room to lay the wires in it, and you can have like what's the name, normal wire if you wanted to. You can't because there's that much wiring to go into that.
Right.
You couldn't put normal wire in this. It'd be impossible. You'd never get it. No. You'd never have the lighting. I mean, what I intend to do with this now, just before I'm going to take some photos of it and stuff, and especially of the wiring, because Ralph's board is brilliant. I mean, absolutely, it's a piece of work for this kit. But there are a few modifications that I made that might be useful to his board and to his customers, because I can't be the only person who's got this kit that has Ralph's board and think, well, why have you only got like one LED between two holes? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can put. I have actually got. If you look at this, right, I have got one there,
Mm-hmm.
and I have got one on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So there is enough room to put two of these in, and there's also. It would have been helpful on his board to have, instead of having the nacelles just come on, to have them like it doesn't on the big one. They come on. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just being on, they light up.
It glows up. Yeah.
He could literally do with this 1000 kit what he's done with the big one, and it is possible to do it, and it is possible to get all this the nacelles working. Because on his board, all you get is the photo torpedoes working, the strobes and the navs, and that's it. But there'll be a lot of people when they have this Reliant kit, if they'd work on this scale, that want to have the nacelles lit up, the crystals lit up, and it is possible to do. Do you know what I mean? And I think there is room on his board to implement another switch or whatever he does to the board.
Jamie, you should do more pictures of your builds.
Oh,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
People
I
would
know.
be interested, definitely. Seeing.
You see, where my skill is in all this, I think it's the building and the work I do on the actual finishing of the models. The wiring, I've learned a hell of a lot from you guys. I mean, Liam, I spoke to you about wiring and how I should do things. I spoke to many people, and it's like, I mean, how long have I been wiring now? Just under a year?
Yeah, about a year. I think
About
it was probably about July time last year. You started asking all the questions.
And it's I mean, it's through you lot that I've expanded. You see, the trouble with me is I'm one of those people that learn quick, and I like to try and make myself better. You know what I mean, every problem I've had with the boards or how the wiring on the schematics done, I spoke to Ralph, and Ralph has been I'll give that guy a big shout out, because without him, I wouldn't even be able to read an electric circuit board. Because I've had problems. Well, where's that go? What's that do? How the hell does that work? And I'm working on that bloody thing, and it's been like, Ralph, what does this do? What does that mean? And how do I get that to light up on that? And Ralph has a technique of putting things in layman terms. Even though he's highly skilled at what he does, he has the ability to somebody, especially a novice electrician, to say, you need to do this, this, and this, and for that person to absorb it and put it in their own way. I mean, and I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a clue to what I'm about. Ralph calls things strobes and navs, and yeah, and it took a while for me to get into this concept of using those terminologies, because to me it was just LED 1, LED 2, LED 3, LED 4, and he kept constantly saying to me, "Are you talking about the strobes or the navs?" To me, they're all bloody LEDs, and they all. But yeah, I am advancing on my electrics, but my actual, I mean, over 20 years I've worked on building models, and it's been basically the finishing and the building. And I need to put over on some sort of videos or pictures of how I'm doing this, because I think there'll be a few people interested in how I do things.
Definitely. Even pictures you see go along. It's even for your own reference for the future. I'm asking you to do that, and I'm as bad. I don't do as much as I should, but
half the trouble with me is it's like you get to a stage where you sort of finished, but you're not finished, and you think, oh, I can't show people that, it's not finished. And then you want to show them when it's wrong. I know it's wrong. People need to see what you do, and they need to see how you're doing it.
It's instructional.
Well, you know something, my response to that is there's a lot of people doing that. I don't have a problem in that, but quite honestly, I don't really need to contribute to that either. I like to see finished stuff.
Yeah,
I like people's process.
I like to watch the.
I do love other people's process. I don't feel as though I need to contribute to that because I don't. It's not that I don't have anything to offer. I just think there's just so much that let's just keep it simple. And this is why we have the shows, is because we get down to the very specifics about what people actually do. So really, my I mean, it can contribute right now to something that I noticed something on your Reliant, and that was how you're mounting it. This is my the bottom part of the marquee ship that I'm struggling with.
Right.
But look at that. I have like all this epoxy putty and epoxy glue holding this this post up for this very thin brass post.
Right.
And that's what I like, is very small stands like this.
Right.
This is pretty sturdy because this is actually one brass tube inserted into another with CA.
Yeah.
So this is going to be pretty sturdy, and this is the way I like to mount my models, as small as possible so it doesn't distract from the build itself. But that's me. How I do it is very simple, because this is two tubes in one. It's not focusing, but it has an automatic stop on it, so it can't slip all the way through. It stops.
Oh, the reason behind the size of this thing is while it came with the base.
Well, yeah, but the only thing I'm putting through here are two magnetic wires to light the damn thing. I don't have anything else to. There's this concept of using these circuit boards. Put it in the model.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this, Jack, right? I've got all this, right? And there's no way I would get that thickness.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that you've got a circuit board outside the model, so you've got to lead all those wires up into it.
Yeah.
That's why you need something thicker. For me, it's just two wires, and I'm going to be stupid enough to put my circuit boards inside. That's just how I build.
Yeah, the only reason I'm putting the circuit boards on the outside is advice from Ralph, because if something goes wrong with the circuit board, I haven't got to crack open the model.
Mm. Well, guess what? I won't be cracking open more. I'll be building another one.
I would be the same. I would be the same.
I'm putting the actual circuit board into the base itself. I mean, this is going to be the base for it. Obviously, it's a customer build, so I've had to get a proper base.
Right.
So that's going to sit on there.
Right,
I'm
but
I'm contemplating whether to put a picture on there or something.
But Ralph does give you the advice of this. Even if it is his board, just wire it up and just let it run for 24 hours.
Yeah.
If it lasts for 24 hours, it's going to likely last forever, as long as it's going to have that model. I built a couple of circuit boards myself. I put them in the model. I'm not brave. I ran those things for about a day or two, on and off, see if and it does. So my destroyer behind me has a circuit board that I built inside the nacelle.
Yeah.
I would prefer to put the circuit board in the model. Some people say that's dumb. And I understand why it is. Like you said, if it burns out, you got to take the model apart or build a new one.
Yeah. I mean, while I've been testing this,
why do I do that? It's because of this reason. All I need to do is put up two leads through it. This is the reason. Now, if it's like a 350 scale like you're doing, the stand is going to be a lot bigger. So maybe I would consider putting a circuit board in the stand and not in the model.
I mean, regarding the 350, the reason those are going into the base. I mean, I've got 5 boards to run that. So, there's basically no room in the model to put all them.
Well, that's true. That's true. And if anybody remembers, a couple of years ago, Steve Neal built the 537 scale of that particular Starship.
Yeah.
And he did put the circuit board in the model, and he doesn't do that anymore. No. He used like regular wire to wire the thing. I don't know how he did it, but he did. He had problem after problem after problem. If you guys ever seen the video, he doesn't have the video on anymore because the music he used was copyrighted and he had to take down the videos. But if you've ever saw that video, that saucer section was packed full of wires and circuit board. I mean, it's unreal what he did and how he did it. And he also had a shuttle bay installed too, an aftermarket shuttle bay, really limited his amount of space in that model. I think the guy's amazing, but I think he struggles unnecessarily.
Yeah, I'm hoping for making life a little bit easier.
Right. So also, I just want to make mention before we part ways is that Steve Neal is doing another build of his big enterprise that he had done fiberglass parts to from years ago. I wish the videos were still online. His process is quite amazing. As I said, I think he struggles more than he needs to, but it's still amazing to watch him build things. It really is. So thanks, Steve Neal, for posting all those pictures. And also, I'd like to thank the community members here at the Amazing Plastic. Alex, whoever else, I don't know, I was just thinking Alex because the car's so amazing. Everybody else that I showed on, thank you. Thank you for posting. And this is all about you guys. Thank you for showing up. And tomorrow we got the Sunday Hangout. And 2 weeks will be across the pond. Thank you all, and you have a good day. Bye now.
Bye, Jack.
All right.